Welcome back, my name is Benji, and today I want to welcome you to our annual cycling kit review, the 2025 edition. Basically, in today's video, I'll be rating pro cycling kits of 2025 from S tier, the best of the best, to D tier, the worst. It won't just be men's World kits, also women's World kits and pro teams. Let us start off with the best men's World team of 2024, UAE Team Emirates. Now this kit received a lot of hate online, also by me. Genuinely, it looks like they took a white kit with black sleeves and dipped it in a barrel of oil. And the worst part is, it looks worse in real life. I just don't get excited when I see this. C tier for UAE Team Emirates XRG, our first team on the board. Now, they also have a women's team, UAE Team Ag2r, and the kit actually looks better. A combination of purple, orange and white that surprisingly looks okay together. But in my opinion, the Ag2r logo really does not stand out here. My score is B tier for UAE Team Ag2r. Let's talk about Bahrain victorious. Between 2017 and 2023, they had this red-orange identity, which they've completely thrown out of the window last year. It's mostly white with an uninspiring blue texture on it. It's just boring. And it's not just boring, it also doesn't stand out. So for me, this is D tier, one of the worst kits in the Peloton. Next up is Groupama FDJ. And honestly, they've got the same kit as 2024 and 2023. So I'm slowly getting bored of it. Basically, different shades of blue with a white accent color and a French flag running down the middle. I'll go with C tier for this team. I just want some change. And actually, the next team didn't change much either. Visma Leasebike. Different kit manufacturers than 2024, but the kit is exactly the same. Yellow with black on the sides and a black beehive pattern on the torso. Like, there's one major positive, it stands out in the Peloton, but there's one major negative as well. They can't use it at the Tour de France, the biggest race in the world, because, well, it looks too much like the yellow jersey. B tier for Visma Leasebike, the same score as last year. Tudor Pro Cycling also didn't change much compared to their 2024 jersey. It's near identical except for the Red Bull logo on the right side. But well, it's no secret I like the Tudor kit. Last year I rated it A tier and I still love it. It's simple but classy, so once again A tier for Tudor. Lotto is a team that did have quite a few changes on their jersey because, well, one of their sponsors disappeared. Destiny is gone, so no blue accent color anymore. But their 2025 kit, it reminds me a lot of our Chaos 2022 kit actually. Red with a black fade on the shoulders and a black pattern on the torso. For me this is B tier. It does help that my favorite color is red. Talking about red, Ineos Grenadiers, they changed kit manufacturer from BioRacer to Golbake, but there's very minor changes because, well, it just looks inverted. Horizontally, it gradually fades from black to red, and last year it did the opposite, horizontally fading from red to black. The one thing I really don't like about this kit is that on the back, there's a white line running from the top to the bottom, very similar to the old Team Skydays, where there was a blue line like that. Because of that, C tier for me, a downgrade from last year. Now let's talk about Soudal Quickstep. To be honest, it's fairly similar to last year's kit, mostly blue with the red accent colors of Soudal. And actually, the first time I saw this kit when it came out, my first impressions were, I really don't like it. I just felt like it was a bit too chaotic for me, but it's starting to grow on me a little. But not enough for B tier, so it's C tier for me. They've also got a women's team, AG Insurance Soudal, and I gotta say, their shirt is different but the same. Like, their main sponsor, AG Insurance, has leaf green in their logo, and they add that as an accent color for the shirt, which I actually do like. But the downside of that is that there's another color added onto this shirt, which means it's even more chaotic. AG Insurance Soudal is C tier for me, just like the Soudal Quickstep jersey. Arkea B&B Hotels made a slight tweak to their jersey, and it changes the jersey quite a bit because, well, now it has black sleeves. But I have to be honest, it doesn't necessarily captivate me. It's an okay shirt, B tier for me. So, Ceratizit, another women's team, right off the bat, the blue-red combination is unique in the Peloton and looks absolutely stunning. And I gotta say, it helps that there's limited sponsors on the kit, and the ones that are on it do stand out in a good way. I've always been a massive fan of their kits because of that color scheme, and I still am. Undoubtedly an S tier in my book. Absolutely stunning. Let's talk about UnoX. Wait a second, I'd like to report a robbery. I want you to look closely at the red and the shapes in it. That's exactly the same as our background on the Lantern Rouge Cycling podcast. I can't believe this. Absolutely shameless. D tier for UnoX. Criminals are not accepted here. Movistar is up next. Out of the gate, I don't like it. It's a completely white kit with a blue box in the middle, so it kinda looks like a youth classification jersey at the Tour de France. Like, I enjoy that they're trying something new, but this time around, I feel like it really didn't work. D tier for Movistar, in my opinion, at the bottom of the ranking. Decathlon Ag2r has gone through a couple of changes in the last few years, especially the addition of Decathlon changing things up. And yeah, over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of blue in the Peloton, but Decathlon's 2025 kit combines that blue with mint green on one shoulder and sky blue on the other on the sleeves. And I think it really works. A tier for Decathlon Ag2r. Now, Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe changed their kit midway 2024 because, well, they had the addition of the Red Bull sponsor, but they're changing it again into 2025. They go from a completely navy blue background to having the top part being white this time around, and there's a lot of colors in this shirt, but I feel like they work well together. But personally, I do prefer the 2024 kit, as in the one they wore in the second half of 2024, even though that didn't necessarily stand out too much. But this doesn't look terrible either. B tier, I would say, for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. Our next team will be at the forefront of women's cycling in 2025 because, well, Demi Vollering is joining the team. FDG Suez. Just like the last few seasons, the majority of the shirt is blue, but with the accent color of red. And I gotta say, it's not just blue-red, it's kind of the blue and the red that comes out of a neon sign. And like the color transitions in the shirt, it's not just a simple fade, it's a really nice looking texture. It looks amazing on paper, it looks amazing in real life. S tier, easily one of the best kits in the Peloton. Onto a team with a new name sponsor. DSM Firmenich PostNL is replaced by Picnic PostNL. And I gotta say, this 2025 kit reminds me a lot of the kit that DSM Firmenich had in 2021 to 2023. Basically, it was black with the double blue line in the middle. Their new kit is being promoted as purple with a double orange line in the middle, and I gotta say, in real life, that purple looks a lot more like navy blue. Which, it's a bit of a shame because we have multiple navy blue kits already in the Peloton. And like, this is one of those kits that the first time I looked at it, I was like, ooh, looks pretty good. But the more I see it, the more it just doesn't stand out. I'm sorry, but I think it's C tier for Picnic PostNL. Anyway, this is what our tier list looks like at the moment. Do you agree with me so far? If not, comment below. Our next team, TDT Unibet, went for a proper rebrand, now named the Unibet Titema Rockets. Like, it's funny, their kit is fairly similar to 2024, but there's a few differences. There's a more seamless color transition under the armpits, which is an improvement, but I feel like their kit last year stood out more, as it was more colorful. B tier, in my opinion, for Buzz and his friends. Polti Visit Malta is another pro team I do want to take a look at, because, well, they always have a pretty well-designed kit. Green, red, and white is a combination we don't often see in the Peloton. It stands out a little bit, but not too extreme. But that combo does look nice. By the way, I feel like this team was super ambitious in the past, and now it's kind of just another Italian pro team, you know? Anyway, I think B tier is fair for this team. Cofidis went for a very different kit in 2025, abandoning their red-white combination, now red, with yellow sleeves. And like, it's not exactly the same red the entire way through, the top is kind of like dipped in red wine. Now, I do like it when teams try new things, but on this one, I'm not completely sold. It reminds me a bit too much of the Spanish national team colors, which is quite funny because I swear Cofidis sponsors that national team. Anyway, C tier for Cofidis in 2025. Now, XDS Astana, when it comes to them, I want to talk about their past first when it comes to their team kits, because I swear back in the day when Nibali, Contador, Fabio Aru, Landa, when they rode for the team, the Azure kit was really beautiful. Now, you might remember that scene from The Godfather, the meme, what did they do to my boy? That's how I feel about this kit. A slightly darker azure blue with yellow-green on one shoulder, red on the other shoulder, and some blue textures in the middle. I'm not a fan of this. This kit is literally so chaotic that they had to put a stroke around the logo to make it visible properly. I apologize to any XDS Astana fans out there, but this is D tier, bottom of the barrel. Now, our next kit is one I've been waiting to talk about. Jayco and Livalula, the men's and the women's team, they both have a similar jersey. Gotta say, first impressions were purple, it stands out, it's original, I love it. I was literally ready to give it an ST rating. But then I watched the Australian National Championships and it kinda looked worse in real life. Their kit manufacturer, Mop, also loves putting grey bib shorts under a colorful top, and I just don't like that very much. Because of those factors, I can't give it S tier, but I'll give it A tier. Because, well, this kit is still far better than most of the competition. Talking about purple, Burgos BH, the pro team, arrives in 2025 with a purple and pink combination. I gotta say, it looks pretty great, but most importantly, this kit is made by Sirocco, the sponsor of this video. But hey, I gotta be objective, and I think it's still a very good kit, but not S tier, so I'll go with A tier for Burgos BH. But if you don't know Sirocco, they're the go-to place for quality cycling kit for an affordable price. I've been wearing Sirocco kit for the last 1.5 years, and I've never been disappointed by them. And I've got some fantastic news. You can get 10% off any Sirocco products through the link in the description or with code BenjiNasen. And on the 19th 19th and 20th of January, that discount is even higher, 20%. So go check out Sirocco and get yourself a deal. Okay, let's talk Cofidis 6.5. Tom Pidcock's Arrival has put Cofidis 6.5 on the map for 2025, but does their kit stand out? First of all, the sleeves are white, but when it comes to the torso, it's mostly either navy blue or black, I can't tell, with a bit of a lighter tone in the middle. The thing is, on paper, I actually do like the way it looks. It's pretty classy, but then I see it in real life and I'm not too sold on it. It's just too simplistic. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it looks like on paper, it matters what it looks like on the bike. So C tier for Cofidis 6.5 and Tom Pidcock. Once again, this is what our tier list looks like right now. Don't forget, I want your opinion in the comment section. Anyway, let's continue with Little Trek. Last year, I apparently had a very controversial opinion about their kit because, well, I thought it was one of the worst in the Peloton. Their 2025 kit made a few very important changes. It reduces the blue at the top in the top half, and gives the red more space to stand out, and it looks a lot better. Like, I'm still not ready to give this shirt an S tier or A tier, but it's at least a B tier now. I think that's deserved. Last year, Intermarché 1T combined white with fluorescent yellow on the side. For 2025, they've still got the fluorescent yellow on one side, a bit less though, and on the other side, a bit more of red. And like, I can't blame this team for having so many sponsors on their shirt, because it's literally what allows this team to survive, but it does take away from the beauty of the shirt. Overall, it just looks a bit meh. I'll go with C tier because, well, I wouldn't want to wear it. e-Education Easy Post has been wearing standout kits for the last couple of years, and 2025 is no different. They combine their usual pink kit with the old school Argyle diamonds. And that just brings so much nostalgia. It makes me think back to the 2011 eras of Garmin Slipstream, Tyler Farrar and so forth. I love that. S tier for e-Education Easy Post. Our second last team is Caja Rural, a pro team. They've always had a combination of white and green on their kit, and most years I've been a really big fan of their shirt. In 2025, darker green on one shoulder and a green texture on the torso. And well, I like it again, it's simply satisfying to look at. A tier for Caja Rural in 2025. Now it's time for our final team, Canyon SRAM Zonda Crypto. For the last couple of years, Canyon SRAM has been delivering some of the best shirts in the entire Peloton. 2025 is no different. On paper, it looks good, but in real life, it looks so much better. The color schemes, the transitions from one color to the other. Yes, it's a lot of colors. Yes, it could be chaotic if done wrong, but it looks so good. Once again, one of the best kits in the entire Peloton. S tier for Canyon SRAM, certified banger. Anyway, that's my tier list. But now it's your turn. I want to hear your opinion in the comment section on every single one of these kits. Do you agree with me? Or do you disagree? Lastly, I also want to say, I feel like the 2025 Peloton will look a lot prettier than 2024. And next to that, there's a few teams with white kits, a few teams with blue kits, but it's not like half the Peloton has it this time around. So I can't wait to see these kits in action when the season starts. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!